Okay. Right. Unscripted. Never done this before. Only really inviting this MVP to friends, family, colleagues, close critics. Very quickly then, um, Interition, that's the brand name that I've had for a long time. And what I've done is I've got an MVP of a no-code app builder that behind the scenes builds solid apps. Okay, and this is an alpha, but it's not too bad as an alpha, and it is usable. So essentially, what you can do, for example, is you can type in here that you want to build an app. You can choose one of these pre-built instructions, prompts, as they're known, if you want to, which I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to say build a contact form. Now, to use it, you do need to have an account with Anthropic and go through the process of giving yourself an Anthropic API key. And in the settings here, this is where you put that key. As I've been using my products, so it's not warning me about that, but you should find that when you first go into this builder, it does warn you that you need to find that Anthropic key. There's no server side on this. It's obviously trying to be a typical solid app with no server side. So if there is any storage, it's just in your browser local storage, including that Anthropic key. So I'm saying here, build a contact form. I chose that just from this quick button down here. Click build. Off that goes, and the AI will sort of propose something. You can see kind of it's very simple, the app that's built, but there's this little sandbox view of the app here that is built. So, you know, I'm going to put myself in here, say hello to the world, submit it, and it will create a record. But of course, I can't actually see the record that's been created or whether it has created a record. So let's just immediately ask for an update to this, saying something like show the records in a table below the input form. Okay, say update, goes off, thinks about it. Okay, and it should be showing the records. Now for some reason it's not showing the records, so let me just try and put a record in. Test, submit, and suddenly it shows a record. I don't know why it's not showing the first record. Maybe it didn't have the mechanics in it to store the record, and then when it realized it needed to display something and actually put the mechanics in there. So it's not a coding tool. It's a completely different way of understanding how to build your apps. There's a lot more trust involved and trusting that the AI builds the app the way that you want. With this sandbox view, you can actually show the code. You know, it's pretty trivial. You can go to full screen mode with this, but it's not really very helpful at the moment. I've got to figure out how to control this sandbox view a little bit better. You've got then choices that once you've built an app here, you can download a zip of the code, and if you're a developer, you can actually just go and unzip the code and follow your basic npm commands to install the dependencies and build it. Or you can deploy it straight to the web, but to be able to do that, at the moment it uses a service called Netlify. You need a Netlify account, which you can get a free account, and then in Netlify, once you've got that account, when you go to deploy an app, it'll set up a trust between the Interition app here, your app, instance of the app, and Netlify so that you can do a deployment. I've already done that, so I can actually just say, you know, deploy to the web, and it asks me to give it a name. I'll give it a name like test contacts, and hit deploy. Obviously the idea is to make it possible for somebody to build an app and deploy it within seconds. So we've now got a deployed app. When you click on it, it then acts like a solid app. The first thing it's going to do, and I've changed the vocabulary that's commonly used here for solid apps on purpose, right? So I'm ignoring a lot of the concepts that leak to the user. Users shouldn't really care. So all I'm saying here is, what service do you want to use to store this app's data? Okay, and it just so happens that I'm using the Inrupt pod spaces. I've got a slight problem with using the solid community server at the moment, so that's not available, but we use the Inrupt pod spaces. So I click on that. That will then take us through a login process with Inrupt pod spaces. So I say sign in. It'll ask me, you know, that you know, there's various permissions that this app is asking. Obviously I'm going to say okay, and there you go. We have built an app using the builder. We've deployed it to the web using Netlify, and we now have this product. There's no record, so let's again put a record in there, and this time it will be saving the data to the pod. In development it saves data to the local storage, but here it will actually save it to a pod. So, and I can put, you know, plenty of those in there, you know, Fred at gmail.com, another test. Okay, whoops, obviously it's put typical form validation in there. Okay, all right, so you can see down the bottom here in this, it's saying what the web ID is. So this is my public web ID in the solid protocol, and this is the pod URL where my data is being stored. And of course I can log out, which takes me back to this screen. So so there you go. I've just gone in, created an app and deployed it, and that really I think is enough to be in this quick intro to make the point. There's obviously lots of other functionality that I put into the app, but I'll wait to see if people on Discord ask me about that. So please go to the go to the Discord, which is up here, and ask, and I'll help as much as I can. And of course I'll learn a lot from that, and it will influence the development roadmap going forward. Thank you very much.